Greetings, I'm Solidus Scully, and welcome back to the Devil May Cry commentary. Now we must create the Spirit Stone, quote-unquote, elixir. So yeah, that's pretty much what we were doing before, but instead what we're going to be doing with this rather short part compared to a lot of others, yeah, mission length in Devil May Cry, as you probably have already noticed, kind of tends to vary a little bit, so yeah, we're in for another boss fight, and we're in for some more puzzle making, but in the meantime, an upgrade. And now, we have Devil Sword Sparda, the true form of Force Edge, and the sword wielded by the legendary Dark Knight that bears this blade's name. Also, I really love the sound effect of the Sparda sword in the menu. I don't know, man, it just ebbs with power, and it is, delicious. Now, to kind of talk about Devil Sword Sparda as we, test out some of its abilities. Yeah, all the abilities that you have as Alastor, you also have with Devil Sword Sparda. It's actually a really powerful weapon. The damage output is pretty great, and yeah, overall it's actually quite good. It's got a much longer reach than what Alastor would have, as you can tell with it turning into Scythe mode as well as, extending its blade, so yeah, Devil Sword Sparda is actually quite good, with only one minor drawback really. Yeah, you can't actually use any Devil Trigger, and much in the same vein as if you switch from Force Edge back to, Alastor or whatever, if you switch from Devil Sword Sparda back to, Ifrit or whatever, yeah, no Devil Trigger for you, and if you had any beforehand, it's, drained. Yeah, I always still found that a little bit odd. I mean, I guess it's also meant to imply that only Sparda can access, the Devil Sword Sparda's true power, but I don't know. I guess it required Dante to get strong enough to do so, because he can do so in 5, so really, what the fuck. Oh, I mean, all that aside though, and the early installment weirdness is that, yeah, contrary to what I said in the review actually, Devil Sword Sparda, since I'm going to be using it a fair bit from this point in the game, is a lot more useful than what I was initially led to believe. Again, to me, provided that you're skilled enough, the damage output far outdoes anything else that you would otherwise need in Devil Trigger, so yeah, I just kind of want to recant that one little remark I made during the Devil May Cry 1 review that I made a couple of years ago now, so yeah, Devil Sword Sparda, I do apologize. You are very useful, and I love you. So, as we walk back from our Super Mario 64 adventure, now we have a little undersea adventure where Dante will dive beneath the water. Yes, oil painting of a sunken Bastille. Enter the Matrix. And I kind of talked about this in passing beforehand, but yeah, there was actually meant to be a bit of a ripple effect on the paintings to, sort of indicate that there's something weird and demonic about them. Yeah, that also applies to the water, where in the PS2 version there was a lot more visual pizzazz to sort of, give the idea that you were sort of trawling through these murky depths. They do still sort of have that little wavy kind of effect to some degree here, but it's nowhere near as pronounced as it was in the PS2 original, which I guess partially might be to do with the Neobard's HD conversion, but I don't know. Because, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, actually, because, I mean, I remember some of the stuff with the Assassin's Creed HD collection for, I think the Ezio trilogy had a few textures changed, the Sly HD collection also had a few things removed as well in terms of borders and stuff like that, so, yeah. I don't know if it's just a HD porting job or anything of the sort, but either way, I mean, considering the fact that Neobards are currently working on Silent Hill lowercase f, it doesn't really, well, you know what, I'll stay my tongue. I mean, as far as I'm aware, Neobards haven't actually had their hands on a legit game, or at least anything that really fucking matters, so yeah, I guess it just sort of remains to be seen at this stage. But yeah, I kind of talked about, you know, underwater stages in Devil May Cry 2, but to kind of list the difference, I mean, apart from, you know, what you're seeing here, Devil May Cry 2 would actually have you control Dante and Lucia in complete 3D, so again, you wouldn't be having these sort of, like, awkward first-person shooter kind of things where you're firing, like, your guns or whatever. Well, I mean, again, you do technically have firearms. In fact, I think the only swimming sections you actually do in that game is with Lucia anyway, so, never mind, really. But yeah, let's just say, it's a lot less awkward, although it does become a little bit more awkward when you have to fight an incredibly bullshit boss fight, but that's neither here nor there in this case, and we'll get to that when we get to Devil May Cry 2 next year. So, I look forward to that. Oh my god. Death Sin Scissors, why do I keep on messing up that name? Stop laughing at me! Just because I can't memorize every single fucking name that this Devil May Cry universe has. Ah, well, the laughter. She is gone. Now those nights will never bother us ever again. Flippo Argenti will never disturb my rest ever again. But yeah, another cool little detail, but given the fact that we are currently in the mirror dimension, yeah, everything's been flipped around in terms of its locale, so I don't know, nice little detail. And we will be seeing more of the mirror dimension as we continue to get the Spirit Stone Elixir, and gradually concoct our little ingredients to make our way into the underworld, which, if you want to know where that gateway is, well, it's all the way back where we first fought Phantom. Yeah, that little puddle of goop on the floor wasn't just where Mundus sent him out to go off and hunt down for the Dante. No, in turn it was also a place where, you know, you could access the underworld. You just need a few alchemaic ingredients. Alchemaic, is that even the correct term? Alchemy ingredients, just to save on a few cognitive errors. And yeah, Bob's your uncle. Just go down the steps. Pretty much all we need here, so... Yes, exit the path of the lion. Oh, by the way, you might want to take a look down on the floor as soon as we get down here, because, tell me if that symbol right over there looks familiar. Ah, a cross. Looking very Oswald Spencer right here. Yeah, something tells me that Capcom kind of forgot to remove that from, the textures and design work, because that's literally the fucking Umbrella Corporation logo imprinted right there on the ground. You wouldn't have seen it beforehand, though, because that's where they put the fountain in the... back in the original courtyard, so, yeah, I guess they might have had a bit of a developer oversight or didn't have time to change the original floor, but... I don't know. It's a fun little Easter egg, and, well, I mean, given what we're about to fight, it is quite fitting that we're gonna have the umbrella symbol right there, because... Well, yeah, looks like Queenie's gonna be coming back! Yeah, because what's going on here is that basically we're putting the Philosopher's Egg into this little chamber. It's gonna cook up for a little bit before it becomes, you know, all cooked up and ready to roll for our next mission. And in the meantime, no matter how much time you try and wait, it won't be ready until you defeat a boss fight. And what is our boss fight? Oh my god, it's Nightmare! In its insoluble form. But yeah, that's why you're meant to, you know, activate that little demon sigil ahead of time so it solidifies you attack the core and, oh, by the way, that giant fuck-off laser beam that it fires out, yeah, that shit homes in a hell of a lot quicker on hard and, Dante must die mode especially, and, it is quite fucking dangerous, so, yeah, potentially Nightmare might actually end up being one of the hardest bosses in the game if you're playing on the must die mode or the harder difficulties. But yeah, this is what turned me around on a Devil Sword Sparta, the fact that it's really making sweet work of the, well, of a Nightmare, really. Yeah, I mean, ordinarily my strategy would usually be to just utilize, fuck it, what was it? Just to utilize Air Raid from Alastor, but no, Devil Sword Sparta was actually putting in quite a lot of work, really, so quite nice, and yeah, same rules apply as before, and you pretty much fight off the Sargassos, and yeah, as you can see right there, you have the Nightmare of Griffin, you know, from Virgil's time as Nilo Angelo, to pretty much pick up the slack. But anyway, it's pretty much just a repeat boss fight with Phantom, just made a little bit quicker now that we have the powers of Sparta on our side with the sword. Thankfully with no backed up toilet gunge effects happening to us as what happened to Arkham. Oh, that silly Billy. We probably should have had a spanking from father before he decided to mess with the powers of demons. But anyway, references aside, I did kind of want to talk about Virgil a little bit more. Particularly in regards to his fate, because, yeah, Virgil... well, again, he was more of a tragic character in this game and didn't really have much of a character to speak of. And again, like, part of the reason why I'm a little bit, well, pissed about the retcon, well, retcon so to speak, because again, you saw, you know, as we have it now, Devil May Cry 3, you know, the last time Dante saw Virgil was when they were both 19, so Dante would have had at least a fairly decent recollection of, you know, what Virgil would have looked like as an adult, but in this game specifically, it's clear that he didn't recognize what Virgil looked like until he saw the amulet and had that flashback to, you know, him and Virgil as kids, fighting over chocolate cake. Their first battle. But yeah, Devil May Cry 3 kind of retconned that a little bit more, and I don't know, the timelines just don't quite line up at all. I mean, I suppose among other reasons, that is part of the reason why some people do want a Devil May Cry 1 remake, so they can sort of slot in the 3 stuff and, you know, get the combat back up to par with where the series is now, but again, I don't know. I've already stated, well, I mean, at least in passing, a few of the issues I have with 3. A lot of the retcon aspects are part of it, but yeah, I really don't know what to say. I mean, I wouldn't be adverse to a Devil May Cry 1 remake in terms of how it could improve the combat, but, well, whether or not the atmosphere would be as good as the first game, I find difficult to believe, because the atmosphere of the first game was, in my opinion, one of the best aspects of it, and whether it's just due to the fact that, you know, Devil May Cry is a more of an established identity of what it's trying to be, or, you know, whether or not it's just where the wind's blowing in terms of what they want, you know, action games designed like this to be. I don't know, I just don't see a remake capturing the same sort of essence that this game had, and I suppose in a similar vein to the Resident Evil remakes versus their originals, they don't necessarily have to, but I don't know. Something about the first game is just kind of untouchable in my eyes, and well, that's really kind of all I had to say about it. I'll probably get a little bit more into Devil May Cry 1's atmosphere versus what a potential remake could herald, if that's even the way that they're going in this stage, but yeah, that's all for next time. And I was kind of surprised by what rank I got here. I have no idea how well I did to get that, but I'm not complaining. So yeah, S rank. Feeling pretty good about myself, and also with a slick, sexy red fire of Devil Sword Sparta. Delicious. Anyway, I'm Solidus Scully, keep it new metal, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.